Hello, my beautiful people. 42 CEO Unk back here with another video. And today we're going to be playing NCAA again and talking about a very important subject. Specifically, Travis Scott, Cactus Jack, and Playboi Carti and Opium, right? So, if you don't know, Travis Scott has a massive, massive concert planned for tomorrow at Metlife Stadium. Okay, now this is going to be probably one of the biggest shows he's ever had. I mean, he's done stadiums before, so it's not like the biggest show by any means, but it's been a while since he's been in a stadium in America, since he's been doing like a massive European tour, and he's been, doing his thing over there, so it makes sense, but it's been a while, and there's a lot of hype behind it. And there's a lot of hype for a few reasons. First of all, a lot of people think Playboi Carti is going to be there, and we're going to talk about my thoughts on that later. We'll talk about a few things first, but that's one of the reasons. Another reason is, as I mentioned earlier, it's just been a while since he's been back in America, and also there's some interesting stuff going on with the merch and the setup too. You're probably like wondering what setup. Well, I just saw some photos, and I can't really, I guess, confirm like through the validity of this whether they're real or not, but basically, there are carnival rides set up with these, like within the venue, and so that's kind of interesting. Now, I don't really know the validity behind it. Again, I do know sources are posting it, and I do trust those sources. And they're showing kind of just like the large drop carnival rides, stuff like that, and so. I mean, that would be really interesting. It's kind of weird, though, because it's, like, where the pits would be. So, like, that's kind of confusing. Like, I don't understand how they're going to set it up. I mean, I guess we'll see tomorrow, honestly. Um, but that's kind of one of the interesting points is, like, there are carnival rides or something's going to be set up. I think it's going to be, like, this kind of whole ordeal, which is, like, kind of what Travis Scott's normally doing. Like, Travis Scott's always setting up, like, this kind of crazy stuff. I mean, his shows are, like, the most, like, methodically, like set out in terms of like all the underground, or sorry, not underground, all the rappers. Like, I really feel like no rapper does a show like him, to be completely honest with you. So with that being said, I think there's going to be a little bit interesting factor going into like the setup. Also, merch. There's kind of like new merch being shown, at least from my understanding. I've never seen this merch before, so that's kind of interesting. I don't really think we've seen anything like it. I've seen like a lot of different photos. There's a lot available. Not to like talk about money or anything like that, but my God, I mean, the amount of money that the label's gonna make off this one show is gonna be like absolutely ridiculous, and just like, yeah, I can't even like fathom how much money they're gonna make off this show just off of ticket sales, merchandise. I mean, it's ridiculous. Honestly, it's ridiculous. But also with that too, there's really an interesting point of Playboi Carti and special guests, right? Because it would make sense for Travis Scott to have a special guest in New York City, right? It's not just gonna be him. It never really is, right? London, we saw freaking what Ice Spice, Young Lean, or Young Lean was like opening up, so it was Young Lean, Ice Spice, and then it was like Lil Baby or something. I don't know, some weird shit. But New York City, he's back in America. You would think it'd be Jay-Z, but definitely with the Diddy stuff, it's not going to be Jay-Z anymore. That's for sure. Um, there are other options for guests, right? But I think Playboi Carti makes the most sense. Now, I'm going to say yes, Playboi Carti does make the most sense, but I'm also going to say I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Playboi Carti will be attending. And there isn't really like a specific reason I have to say, that. Like, I think it kind of makes sense. He stays in New York City. He's claimed New York City as a second home. I just don't think it'll happen because Travis Scott hasn't really alluded to it. And I guess he doesn't really have to allude to it. Like, people are still going to show up. He doesn't need Playboi Carti by any means. I just feel like Travis Scott's the type of rapper who normally markets pretty well. And when you're marketing well, you need to kind of, hint at some things to get some hype behind it. And I think he would probably hint at Playboi Carti being at his show in New York City if it were to happen. He would have hinted at it, maybe like a tweet or something, like an Instagram story. I just feel like it would have happened. Like, for instance, him playing a Playboi Carti song and then like having the caption like "the vibes we on" or just something simple like that, because then people like really start to talk about it, and then more people get hyped about it, and it just brings more attention to him. And so by him not saying that, and not doing anything, it kind of concerns me in the sense I don't think Playboi Carti is going to show up. Now, I don't even think Playboi Carti would talk about it, even if he was showing up, so I don't really think that's a point of it. So I don't know, it's tough. I hate to be like the skeptical guy. It's really not what I'm about in terms of like Playboi Carti news and stuff like that. I always like to take the optimistic route, and I really would like to think that Playboi Carti will be attending. I just don't know how much sense it makes for him right now. Like, what would they realistically do? Yeah, they could play Fiend, I guess, and that would be hype, but unless they preview new music, I think there's really not much in it for him, like Playboi Carti wise. I think like it doesn't make sense for him. But we will see what's gonna happen, right? Like at the end of the day, anything can happen. Like literally anything can happen. So maybe Playboi Carti attends as just like a guest or as like a spectator and not a guest, and maybe he attends as a guest. He could attend a lot of different ways. It's really up to him and like what he thinks is best. I'm interested to see what other guests there'll be, because I assume it's not just going to be Playboi Carti if Playboi Carti is the only guest. I think that's really what it's going to be. But yeah, those videos we're going to see from those pits are going to be absolutely insane. I've heard like the East Coast people talking about it for like months. Like I've been asked, or like people have been asking me to go for like literal months. So this might be like one of the biggest shows of the year in terms of like rap shows and like most attendance and just overall hype. And so I guess also speaking to that in terms of like hype and stuff, it would make sense for Playboi Carti to attend. I feel like Playboi Carti's kind of been like, AFK, for lack of a better word, for a little bit. So it's just like Playboi Carti attending, I just don't really see it in the books. And it's really more so just like a feeling at this point. Like it's not really like any like valid like truth behind it. So I think that's like the tough thing too, is like I'm having to kind of just go off feeling here. But I mean, the truth's going to be out there in about a day, a little under or a little over a day. We're going to know. Also, too, Travis Scott does have time to hype it up. Like, I could literally post this YouTube video, and tomorrow he could be, hyping it up, like saying, oh, Playboi Carti's coming. Even tonight, honestly. Playboi Carti could even, like, show a story of him being in New York. He could be doing that right now, honestly, like, right as I'm posting this. So, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, that was the video for today. Guys, do you think Playboi Carti will be attending tomorrow? I guess we can kind of come back on this tomorrow night, and we'll see my opinions. We'll see, am I factual? Am I right? I don't know at the end of the day, right? Like, I'm not like an insider. Like, right? Playboi Carti's not talking to me, so I really don't know. But it'll be interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the bottom of the comments in the comment section. Make sure to like and subscribe. This is a new channel to my commentary channel. I have, of course, my 42 CEO regular channel, so make sure to subscribe to that as well if you're not subscribed. I appreciate you guys, and let me know if there's any other games you want me to play. I kind of suck at NCAA, but it's been what I kind of have enjoyed playing, so like it just, what I want to talk about while I play, or what I want to play when I talk about like rap stuff. So let me know in the comments, and yeah, everyone who is going to the show, make sure to be safe. I hope you enjoy your time there, and I hope for your sake that Playboi Carti does indeed show up. Have a good rest of your day, guys.